Hi you guys, Lady ReShell here, author and founder of Warriorstalk, where we move away from awareness towards action. It's Sunday, a beautiful Sunday in the Shy, so I hope that you get out and enjoy some of this weather, because you know in the Shy we probably won't have too many more of these sunshiny days, so enjoy the weather. But I wanted to come on really quickly and talk about I need your support, right? I need your support. Coming up October the 28th, this year, Warriors Talk will celebrate our 7th annual Survivors Night of Reflection Gala. We're going to do it at 12 p.m. to 4 p.m., so it'll be like an afternoon brunch versus doing it at night. It just seems to work better that way for us for the last 2 years. So we will be at the Crystal Sky Banquet Hall, and it's located in McCook, Illinois. So it's right outside of Chicago, you guys. It's a very nice, elegant place to have the event. So I'm really excited about us coming up on this 7th year. You know, 7th is it's the number of completion. So right now we have completed 7 years empowering individuals to take action that leads to a healthier lifestyle. So I'm really excited about that. My journey with Warriors Talk, it started in 2014 when I began sharing my testimony with individuals, just empowering them to take action with their health. As you know, I was diagnosed in 2013 with stage 2 triple negative breast cancer, which is an aggressive form of breast cancer that's hard to treat. So they give you chemo, they give you surgery, they give you radiation. They don't give you any medicine to take after that. So it's not like some breast cancer subtypes where you have to take tamoxifen. So I'm not giving any type of medicine once I completed treatment. I'm not giving any yearly scans so they can look to see if cancer has reoccurred. So none of that. So you're pretty much, with the triple negative, you're pretty much on your own to watch for signs in your body that's not normal, right? You get to know what your normal is, and then you look for signs that things are not normal. And then at that point, you will report it to your general doctor, who will investigate it, and then they will see if you need to go and see an oncologist. So pretty much with triple negative, you pretty much out there on your own, just taking charge of your health, which can be a good thing because you're not really relying on the scans or, you know, the once a year screenings that you have to do to catch it. If you're diligent with your health, then when something doesn't feel right and it lasts longer than 3 weeks, then you should be seeing your doctor. It could be nothing. It could just be, you know, you being overwhelmed and stressed out, and that does have an effect on our body. But don't deny it, verify it. Go get it checked out. So Warriors Talk has been doing this since 2014, just spreading awareness, encouraging individuals to check into their family history to see what the family history is as it relates to cancer, as it relates to any other diseases. And the purpose of that is so that you can see if there's a genetic link. Because sometimes we don't know if there's a genetic link. Hey, Otha. Sometimes you don't know. And hey, Charles. Sometimes you don't know if you have a genetic link in your family when it comes to cancer. And having a genetic link does not mean that you're going to get cancer. It just lets you know what your chances are of getting cancer. So, and the different types of cancer that are linked to those genetic testings. So it's important to talk to your family. Hey, Don. It's important to talk to your family to get that information about what kind of cancer run in your family, what age did they have the cancer, are they still alive right now, did they have a second reoccurrence. Like, all of those things are important when it comes to cancer. And sometimes cancer can be a very scary subject. A lot of people, you know, when you hear about cancer, it's like, oh, you know, we don't want to talk about it, you don't want to think about it. And a lot of people think, oh, it won't happen to me, you know, because I felt that way. I felt like, I'm healthy, I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do when it comes to, you know, eating right, you know, exercising and staying within my right weight class. And, you know, and at that time, you know, cancer was not present or prevalent in my family. So it's like, okay, you know, why is this happening? And so Warriors Talk exists so that we can, you know, move away from just being aware of cancer, just being aware that, oh, this could possibly happen to you, or this happened to somebody else. But it's for you to take action with your own health and knowing where you are as it relates to the cancer scale, which means you should be having conversations with your doctor to say, okay, I don't have any people in my family that has cancer. So what are my chances or my risks? Where does that lie on the scale, right? Or I do have a couple of people in my family on my mom's side, on my dad's side, that do have cancer. Where do I fall in there when it comes to being screened? Like, those conversations need to be had, because we do know that people are being diagnosed, especially women, when it comes to breast cancer at a young age. And when a young woman is diagnosed with cancer, it tends to be more aggressive, and she tends to have a harder fight than it would, someone younger. They feel like maybe age 60, 50, they feel like when you're getting older, that's the time when you should be diagnosed with cancer. If you're going to get cancer, they feel like it's an older person disease. But we know that that's not true, because we know a lot of young women who are fighting for their life with cancer. So it doesn't matter what age you are, it doesn't matter the color you are, it doesn't matter what economic status you are at. Cancer doesn't discriminate, it does not care where you are in life. So you have to always be on top and taking charge of your own health, so that you can report that information to the doctor. The doctor should not be surprising you with information. You should already know this is your body. You live with yourself every day. You should know what's going on with your body. You should be able to go to the doctor and tell them, this is what's happening. I'm not saying Google stuff, because Google can have you digging your own grave. But, take that information. If you have any symptoms, or if you have any individuals that in your family with cancer, you can talk to the doctor and come up with a plan on if and when you need to be screened. Because if someone in your family had cancer, like for me with my daughters with breast cancer, I was diagnosed at 43, which is considered being diagnosed young if you're diagnosed before 45. So with my daughters at the age of 33, they should be getting screened at least 10 years before the age of my diagnosis. I tell them, get screened at 23. Don't wait till 33. Get screened early. Have the conversation with your doctor to let them know. When I take my girls to the doctor, I just took them for their physicals, and I noticed on their chart it says it has the history of the family. On there it says breast cancer, mom. So that their doctors know exactly what's going on, and they can have those conversations with my daughters about their own breast health. And that, you don't have to wait until you at that screening age to have that conversation. You shouldn't wait until you at that screening age to have that conversation. That conversation should be had earlier, especially if you have someone in your family that has a cancer diagnosis. Now, I would say my sister passed away at the age of 52 with cancer, and she was diagnosed 3 years before I was diagnosed. Now, her diagnosis, for some reason, in my family, we felt like this was an isolated incident, because there was no other, immediate people in my family that had breast cancer. So we like, whoa, where's this coming from? And my sister she's been very sickly with diabetes, and just fighting the diabetes and stuff. So, for a long time. So we're thinking like, maybe this came as a result of her, fighting the diabetes, and her body is just, this is a result of that. Well, that was in 2010. In 2013, then I was diagnosed. Now, had I, at the time she was diagnosed at 2010, say, oh, let me go have a conversation with my doctor to see what is my risk when it comes to breast cancer, because my sister was just diagnosed. And I believe had I went to my doctor at that time, they probably would have caught my cancer at a stage 0. It probably would have been at a very early stage 0, because I was diagnosed at 2. So they always say it's 4 stages of cancer, but it's really 5. So it's stage 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So they probably would have caught my cancer at a stage 0. Also keep in mind that at the age of 40, so I was pregnant at the age of 40. So at the age of 41, I gave birth to my daughter. So they probably would have caught it at the age, probably when I was pregnant. They probably would have caught it then, because I believe, they probably would have caught it at that age, because I believe I was pregnant at the time when she passed. So it would have been caught early, and I would have probably most likely had to do less treatment because of it. Probably no chemo, because of it. It might have just been radiation and surgery. It might have just been radiation. But because I didn't take action at that time, then, 3 years later, I get diagnosed at a stage 2. And cancer doesn't start yesterday. Let me say that. It doesn't start yesterday, because some people think, oh, maybe this started last year. No, some cancer can be in your body 10 years before you were diagnosed, right? It doesn't just start yesterday. If you think about it, when you go, for those of us who are old enough to get a colonoscopy, when we go get that colonoscopy, if you have a clean exam, they say, we'll see you in 10 years. What does that tell you? That lets you know that in the process of 10 years, those polyps could be forming. And at the 10-year mark, they can catch it and be like, okay, we got these polyps. You're good to go for another 10 years. But if they go in there and they catch polyps, and then they'll say, okay, we need you to come back in 2 years. We need you to come back in 3 years, because they know what? Those polyps was there in 3 years. There's probably going to be some more polyps, and we need to go in and get them out. So it's so crucial to just stay on top of your screening. And if you are at an age to where you're younger, but you have a history of breast cancer in your family, that conversation should be had with your doctor so that you can get screening. If you know that you have dense breasts, and dense breasts are like, it almost looks like cotton on the mammogram. So you really can't see through the mammogram to see if it's any cancer present. So you have to get an MRI. You have to get a special ultrasound of the breast so that they can see through all of that fatty tissue that's in the breast to see if cancer is present. So your doctor, you should know, or your doctor should be able to tell if you have dense breasts, right? And you can ask the doctor, hey, how do I know if I have dense breasts? Can you find that out for me? Because if you know that you have dense breasts, and you know that getting a regular mammogram probably is not going to help you, because they're not going to be able to see if cancer is in there, because cancer looks just like the fatty tissue. It kind of blends in the same, but you need the MRI, the ultrasound mammogram, so that they can really see through your breast. Push for it. Ask for it. Even if you're younger, push for it. You have to be your own advocate when it comes to your body, because a lot of times if you're young, they're gonna say, you're young, don't worry about it. If they find a cyst on your breast, why is this cyst growing? It should not be a cyst. That's not normal. Okay, investigate the cyst. Don't just send me away and say, oh no, the cyst is okay. It'll go away. It'll dissolve on its own. But why is the cyst there in the first place? Like, let's get down to the root cause of why that cyst is there. Like, especially if you have an abnormal mammogram and they call you to go back. Don't just be like, ooh, I'm scared, I don't want to go back. No, time is of the essence. You need to go back so you can find out exactly what is going on. Because believe me, with the mammogram, they're not going to. I can remember calling my doctor and say, hey, I found a lump, because I found my own lump. I can remember doing my breast exams in Vegas. Lo and behold, there was a lump there. And I'm like, oh, what is that? And keep in mind, I had just got done breastfeeding, right? Because I breastfed my baby, and I believe I got done in April. And no, she turned 1 in May. So I believe I breastfed her for a year. Then I had just had my annual exam in July, and they do the clinical exam. The doctor does the clinical exam while you in jail. While you doing your clinical exam, when you're doing your annual appointment, the doctor does the clinical. And there was no lump. She didn't feel a lump. She never said that there was a lump. But then when I went in November, right, that was July when I stopped breastfeeding in April. July, I had my annual exam where they did the clinical exam. And then in November is when the lump came. So that's how aggressive the cancer was growing, because triple negative is an aggressive form of cancer. So I had to make sure that they was working fast. So as soon as she got me in a couple days from the mammogram and to get it done. And then they did the biopsy that same day. They did it that same day. And then after they did the biopsy, the doctor called me the next day. So they work kind of fast because they know how urgent it is, right? They know how yes, Ken, you're advocating for yourself. Please do. They know how urgent it is when it comes to you having a lump in your breast. So they're going to try to get you in there really fast. And if they're not moving fast enough, then you call them. Hey, I did a mammogram the other day. Hey, I did a biopsy the other day. What's going on? What's the results? I need to know. Don't just be like, well, they didn't call me, so no news is good news. No, that's not true. It could be sitting somewhere and it could be human error to where it may be sitting on somebody's desk and they didn't enter the information. So if you didn't hear nothing, always call back. They have the patient portals. A lot of times they put the information in there. But even if it's not in there and you took the test, then you call back and try to find out what's going on. It's important. So I started my journey, diagnosed in 13, started advocating for individuals and sharing my journey in 14. In 2015, I started the radio show. This October, the radio show will be 9 years old that we have been educating the community through education to take action that leads to a healthier lifestyle. So I'm really excited about that we are consistent about doing that, because the information that's given, one person may be each show. It may be one person each show that may walk away with that information that they take action with. I have had people to email me to say, hey, I'm going to get a colonoscopy and I'm really scared. They said this was going to happen, or they said I had to do this. And I had to encourage them to say, hey, go and get that colonoscopy, because guess what? This is cancer prevention. A colonoscopy is cancer prevention, right? If you're getting it done when you're supposed to get screening, that's cancer prevention. It's cancer prevention because if they see polyps again, they can go in there and take those polyps out. Those polyps, now that they took them out, those polyps are not growing because they're not in there. And you at an age to where you have grandkids, you're married, like those are things that should encourage you to let me go get this so I can be around for these people. So it was a guy, I had to encourage him, and he went and got it, and then he inboxed me back like, hey, everything was cool. And I was like, great. Hadn't he would have worried himself to death, not even wanting to go get it because he was so afraid of the results. And plenty of women have called. I mentor a lot of women who are like newly diagnosed, and they call me, or somebody give them my number and they call, and I talk to them just about the process of processing that diagnosis. Okay, you got this cancer diagnosis. You need to process that diagnosis before you talk to anybody else. You need to process that diagnosis yourself. You need to talk to God. You need to ask him to direct you. You need to ask him to give you wisdom. You need to ask him to give you understanding. You need to ask him to give you peace as you go through this situation, because it's not going to be easy. A cancer diagnosis is not easy. I don't care what nobody tell you. It's not an easy diagnosis to go through. It is a frightening thing, because most of the stuff that we hear about cancer is death. Every time I turn around, somebody's like, oh, so-and-so died. And I'm like, how'd they die? Oh, they be so afraid to tell me. They be like, oh, they died from cancer. And I'm just like, Jesus. Like, so this battle with cancer, this fight with cancer, this advocating with cancer, the awareness with cancer is nonstop. It's going to be nonstop until we have a cure for cancer, period. And think about it. It's not just one cancer. It's over 200 to 300 different cancers that they need to find a cure for. So it's not just, oh, let's find a cure for this one cancer. No. Even if cancer became just a chronic disease to where, okay, you got cancer, but we have something that you could take to where this cancer is not going to kill you, like diabetes. It's a chronic disease. But we haven't even gotten there yet. Like we should be there. We should be somewhere there to where shouldn't be where it's continuously taking lives. And that's exactly what it's doing. And so that's why I continue to advocate. That's why I go to Washington and advocate. That's why I go to seminars and educate myself on the different things that are going on with cancer or breast cancer. It's important to me as a breast cancer survivor. It's important to me as a person who had a sister that died from breast cancer, as a individual that had a dad that died from lung cancer. It's important to me to advocate for individuals who are afraid to go in and get a mammogram, who are afraid to go and get their annual physicals, who are just afraid because they don't want to hear bad news. So I push, I advocate, I give information on the radio. I bring on Doc Michelle, who has over 20 years experience, who shares information every single week, every month about how to make healthier lifestyle choices so that you can't be afraid. You have to take charge of the situation. Knowledge is power. And what you do with that knowledge is you take action. But if you don't know what to take action against because you don't go and get that information, then you're setting yourself up for failure. If cancer is growing in your body, you're not doing anything about it. It's not going to stop that cancer from growing. It's going to continue to multiply and divide in your body. Or any other disease that may be in your body. It could be diabetes. It could be lupus. It could be you got some clogged arteries and you don't want to address it. Doesn't mean that it's going to stop because you denying it. No, it's going to keep doing what it's doing until you take action to stop it, until you take action to slow it down. So this is why I do what I do, is because I don't want to see anybody with a cancer diagnosis, period. I'm tired of hearing that somebody died. I'm tired of hearing somebody was diagnosed. I'm tired of women losing body parts. I'm tired of women being cut on and mangled and having scars and having to go home to their husbands with no breasts and having their husbands leave them, because men are physical and they're visual. And, you know, they want you to come home how you went to the hospital. You went to the hospital with 2 perky breasts or whatever, even if they hang it a little bit. They want you to come home with those. You know, they want you to not have to. And let me say this. It takes a man that's already vested in you, that's already vested in you, love you, to deal with all of those things that cancer brings, all of the scars that cancer brings, and know that cancer does not define you, and that even if you don't have any breasts, that you're still a woman. Removing those breasts does not make you a woman. You were a woman when God created you in your mother's womb. And so it doesn't take that away from you. It doesn't. If you have 1 breast, 2 breasts, implants breasts, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You were born a woman, and those things does not define who you are. Cancer does not define who you are. So this is why I do what I do, is to encourage individuals to take action. The slogan of Warriorstalk is move away from awareness towards taking actions. We are so aware. We are so aware. But what are you doing with that awareness is key, and taking action is key. And so Warriorstalk does things to take action. We serve by the weekly radio show. We serve by our annual gala. We serve by donating Battle Buddy sacks to the cancer treatment centers and individuals who are diagnosed with cancer. At the annual event, we donate money to individuals who are diagnosed, who are fighting. And last year we donated $1,000, $500 to 2 individuals, Donna Crawford and I believe her name was Sabrina White. So Sabrina White and Donna Crawford. And when I tell you that both of those ladies passed away this year. Last year, we blessed them with $500 each. I talked to them both on the phone. They were so excited, you know, oh, this is a big help. Thank you so much. Like, I needed it, you know. I was so happy that Warriorstalk was able to bring a little sunshine, a little relief to them financially, and before they passed away, because both of them passed away this year. So you don't know what somebody is going through financially. You don't know, you know, where they are in their journey, how long they've been fighting, in every little detail of what they have to go through. And so that's why I don't mind doing what I do when it comes to donating money. And this is not my money. This is money that's donated. This is money that's collected, you know, from having the event, and just individuals giving out of the goodness of their heart. We had last year the Sawata Jones show, and his crew gave $1,000, and that's how we were able to donate to the 2 people that was fighting cancer. So if it wasn't for individuals like that, you know, we wouldn't be able to survive. If I had the money, I would do these events and give these battle buddy sacks out and donate to these individuals that are in need without asking for help. Unfortunately, I'm not there yet, right? I'm not there when it comes to grants. I'm not there yet. Until I get there, I'm going to need some support so that we can bless individuals who are going through. And the purpose of the celebration in October is for warriors or survivors to celebrate, right? We're having a fashion show this year. So they're going to strut the runway in their shades of pink. And it's about having fun. It's about looking pretty. It's about feeling sexy. It's about knowing that whether I'm in battle or not in battle, I'm here, I'm embracing life, and I'm enjoying everything that God has planned for me with whatever time that he has left for me. Celebrate yourself being a survivor. Don't just go through treatment and then don't do anything for yourself. Don't go through treatment and don't celebrate what you've done, the fight that you have been through. Celebrate yourself. And at the appropriate time, share your journey. Share your journey, because God didn't bring you through for you to keep your mouth closed. He didn't. And everybody shares their journey in different ways. You may share your journey on the internet. You may share your journey in a book. You may share your journey to an individual. You may write a letter to an individual that going through. So everybody shares their journey in a different way. However you choose to share your journey, share your journey. Kenya said the financial stress definitely is overwhelming. It's overwhelming because you have to figure out, and you're so right, Kenya, because some people have to figure out like, oh, should I pay this bill? Or should I go buy this medicine that they say I need that goes along with this chemo that I'm taking? But I don't have any food at home. But I don't have any gas in my car. But my light bill is not paid. But I got to pay gas. So what do you do? What do you think they're going to do? They gonna do what they need for the necessities, the food, clothes, and shelter. That's what they gonna do. And the cancer treatment is gonna be like, okay, well, if they want me to have it, they'll pay for it, or they'll give it to me, or it's gonna have to wait. So they need financial assistance, whether they're working or not. You have co-pays. Sometimes you have to change your diet while you're going through because you're not able to eat. So you may have to, food may be a little bit more expensive that you have to get because, the junk food is cheaper. But you're trying to get some healthy food, it's going to be more expensive. They may want to go out for a day for a spa just to relax and leave their worries behind for one day. Just little things they may want to do for themselves. And may not have the money to do it. So they just keep going and keep pushing, keep going and keep pushing until the body said, we can't anymore. And then you're forced to just take a step back and do something. So it's important, even if you don't donate to Warriorstalk and an individual that's going through, donate to them. Donate to them personally. Give it to them. Put it in their hands. I think about the big corporations that's collecting money for research and all of that. Okay, let them do that. But then you have the smaller nonprofit organizations that's in the community that's asking for support, that need support. Those are the organizations that you donate to. Let the rich people donate to the bigger organizations. The people that's in the community, you donate to those organizations that's in your community, because you're going to see that where that money goes, especially if you can see where that money goes. If you at the events and you see what they're doing and they're reporting what they're doing, you can actually see what they're doing. Those are the people that you sit back and you investigate and you donate to those people. So does Warriorstalk need your help? Absolutely. I cannot do this by myself. I like for my survivors to attend the event free. I feel like this is a celebration for survivors. Why are we charging survivors $80 and $100 to attend an event to celebrate the survivors? And now let me say this, because I know some organizations, nonprofit organizations with breast cancer or whatever, they have events to where they're raising money for different things. And so yes, support that. I'm not saying don't support that, but I feel like if I'm celebrating survivors, then I'm asking you, oh, come pay to celebrate yourself. No, I want you to come out and I want you to truly be celebrated and not have to worry about the cost. And how do we do that? Sponsor a survivor. Sponsor a survivor. So if you're not a cancer survivor yourself, but you want to help, then sponsor a survivor. Pay for them to come cover that cost. Excuse me. Because I still got to pay the event manager where I'm having the event at, I still got to pay for that head, that survivor that's going to eat. I still got to pay for it. So whether they come free or not, that money is still has to be paid, right? So sponsor a survivor. And if you know a survivor and say, hey, I want to sponsor you to go to this survivor celebration event, that's all you have to do. And also you can sponsor the event. We're looking for sponsors, and the sponsorship is so cheap, it's so low. I'm telling y'all better catch on board right now, because once God can elevate me to get me to a place to where I don't have to ask for money, just jump on board right now. So we have sponsorship, and the sponsorship, of course, is for the survivors. Then we have $100 sponsorship, and the $100 sponsorship gets you 2 tickets. It gets you the swag bags, and if you are an organization, you get to put your logo and information inside of the programs. You also get to speak to the people at the event, and then we have the 250, and it just adds on a little bit more. So you get 3 months of Warriorstalk advertising. You get to come on the show and talk about your organization, along with the tickets, along with the swag bags. We have $500. It adds on more tickets. 6 months advertising on Warriorstalk. Come on and talk about whatever your organization is, whatever your cause or your purpose is. And then you have the $1,000 to where you are the event sponsor, and it gives you a year subscription with Warriorstalk, to where we're advertising you for a year. And then you also get to come on. It gives you a table for individuals to come. So it's very cheap, because I've been comparing some of the programs out here, the events that are coming up, and sponsorship and everything. And I see that they're asking for it, and them asking for it, there are people out here that will give it. There are people out here that will donate. They will. Thank you so much to Kenya. Thank you so much, because she took it upon herself. We Care 2 agency. She went, and I don't know if she did it under the agency or just did it herself, but she put a post on Facebook, and she just asked her friends to give $5. She just said, hey, can y'all just donate $5 to Warriorstalk so we can get some survivors to come free? And she cashed out me the money. And I was just like, wow, the people was donating. They was donating more than $5. All you have to do is ask. I'm asking. I can't reach everybody. So all I'm asking, if you can't donate, share my post on your page and ask your friends, hey, can you just give $5? Or can you sponsor a survivor so they can come to the event for free? The survivor sponsor is $35. Hey, can you sponsor a survivor so they can come to this event for free? And it lists everything that the survivor is going to get when they come to the event. So if you know you can't go, or you can't really support, you don't have the financials to support, post it on your page. Ask your friends to donate. Ask them to donate, because on that night I want to be able to, I have 2 individuals in mind. I would like to do 3 people in mind, to give them $500 each, and just a little financial bridging the gap while they're going through, to help them, just for a moment, just be like, oh, okay, I can breathe for a moment. I would love to give them more money, but as money come in, then I can give it out. I can give it out to individuals. And not only that, throughout the year when individuals are going through and they just may need, just a little help to get over it, maybe to pay a light bill, a gas bill, to buy some food, or to help with their rent, I would like to be able to have money in a pot to be like, okay, here you go. Because what I'm hearing is a lot of time when they go to different organizations, they're telling them, oh, you don't qualify, or we don't have any more money, or whatever. And they're advertising like they do. But when you go to fill it out, oh, we don't have it. And that could be really discouraging, because you're like, dang, what am I supposed to do? My insurance done ran out, and I don't have any money coming in. I can't work because I'm in treatment, and the treatment is not allowing you to work. So it could be so discouraging to an individual that's going through. How can you concentrate on healing and surviving when you have all of this stuff in the back of your mind, right? So I need your support. I would love to see you at the event on the 28th of October. It would be so amazing if you could be there. Tanya, I know you having an event that same day at the same time, but I'll send you the flyer and everything in the Cash App. And thank you so much, Tanya. I will send you the information. I know Tanya is having an event that same day. I did share it on my page, but I will post a flyer about your event. We're having an event at the same time, and hers is domestic violence, and also she's celebrating the survivors as well on that day too. So you guys can support her as well. There's so many organizations that's right here in your community that need your support, and yeah, we're going to make sure that the event is successful, even if we have to come out of our own pocket to make it successful, and to make sure that we're helping those individuals that are going through. Somebody did it for me. Thankfully for me, I worked full time the whole time that I was in treatment. I took my treatment on a Friday. I took every Friday off work for 6 months while I was in treatment. And thank God that I had a job to where I was able to do that. People at my job donated their sick time to me. Thank you so much, Tanya. I appreciate you. People at my job donated their sick time to me so that I would be able to have every Friday off on my job to go and get my chemo. So I didn't lose any pay when I was at work. All my benefits and everything was there. But some people are not fortunate to have that. So you have to, and so some of us are left to help fill in the gap for those individuals that are not able to do it. Nicole said, if we can all come on one accord, I'm telling you how powerful it would be. My pastor preached about the blessings of unity, how when you're unified, the blessings come. And it's like we're not in competition, like We Care Too agency and Tanya Domestic Violence Agency and Warriorstalk. We're not in competition. We just have different purposes that we're doing, that God has planned for us to do. But we can still all help each other do what needs to be done, even if it's just sharing a post, even if it's just sending some money to sponsor a survivor. Every little bit helps. Every little bit helps. And we can't do it by ourselves. We really can't. And we need support. We do. If you can, I have one individual, one lady, last year, she set it up with her paycheck and her job. Her job said, we'll match, pick a charity, and we'll match your donation. So she picked her donation. And her job said, okay, we'll match that. She picked Warriorstalk. She inboxed me and say, hey, I want to donate. Give me your information. Give me your EIN number and all of that. And I'm going to set it up at my job to donate to Warriorstalk every single month. And she's doing it for 1 year. And I'm just like, I was like, oh, wow. And when the checks started coming, I was like, wow. Like, I'm so grateful because she didn't have to do it. Like, she's always even brought tickets or brought my books or whatever. And then this time she said, this is what I'm going to do. I said, wow, I'm so grateful. Yes, Kenya, one goal, one mission. What we're doing, we're servants. We're servants. We're helping individuals, and out of the goodness of our hearts. And sometimes our pockets run dry trying to do it. And so that's why we need support. So either you can sponsor a survivor, you can be a sponsor of the event. We have different levels of sponsorship. You can share the post and ask individuals to give like Kenya did. And you will be surprised and amazed at what people will do. All you have to do is ask. If you don't open your mouth, and then nobody's going to do it. You have to open your mouth. And so I need your support. Kenya needs your support. Tanya needs your support. And if we can all just take a little time out of our day to help support somebody else. Sometimes we always think about, oh, me, but support somebody else. Even if it's just showing up at their event, there's so many events going on in October. I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to get to all these events? Show up for an hour, purchase a ticket, show up for an hour, go to the next event. Like, sometimes that's what you have to do. And I understand that because I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do all these events. But support somebody, because you never know when you may need that support. It may not be breast cancer. It may not be domestic violence. It may not be homeless. It may be you being homeless. It may be something that you need somebody to support you on. And you don't want to be left saying, you got your hand out, and they like, Well, she didn't help me. She never supported me. Like, even if you can't support in money, financial support in time. Kenya said, I said the same thing, how I am going to go to all these events that's on the same day, the same time. Kenya, I got a calendar, and I'm like, okay, this breast cancer event is here. I could go here in the morning. It's a lot, and you want to be able to support. So even if you can't be there, if you could pay for a ticket and say, hey, I'll pay for a ticket, and you can invite somebody else off that ticket, or you pay for sponsorship and say, hey, I'll pay for sponsorship, but I'm not gonna be able to be at the event. You just have to not stress yourself out and wear yourself out, and be flexible when people are trying to come to your event, and be understanding. They'll be like, she didn't come to my event, so I'm upset. No, but communicate with the people and say, if you can come, why you can't come, and what you can do to help. And that's all you have to do. Just communicate, and be on one accord in serving. It's all about serving what God wants us to do and how He wants us to do it. And so I'm excited about the event taking place on October the 28th. This is our seventh year. It really should be our 8th year, but we didn't do anything in 2020. So this is our 7th year, and this is the year of completion. 7 is the year of completion. So next year would be new beginnings, year 8. So I'm excited about the 7th year. I'm excited about honoring survivors, celebrating survivors, and donating, just helping them financially lift some of the financial burden off of them, and I need your support. So I'm gonna post my flyer, and you can scan it, and it'll take you right to the Eventbrite where you can make a donation. If you don't want to make the donation on Eventbrite, yes, 7 years. I'm so excited. God has been so good that we're still doing this after 7 years. So I'm really excited about that. You could go to the Eventbrite and you can make a donation. If you don't want to do it on Eventbrite, because I do know that they do a service charge, you can cash at me at the $ Warriorstalk with the capital W. Or you can Zelle me at warriorstalk1@gmail.com, and I will put all this information on my page so that you can have all of the information. And if you have any questions, you can always inbox me. You can always email me, and my number is on the information as well. I appreciate everybody who donated. Like I said, Kenya donated some money by just posting information on her page. I really appreciate all the donations that we get. I don't take the donations lightly, and they are used to help individuals. And I want y'all to see what we're doing, because a lot of times I don't like to donate because I'm like, what they doing with that money? But I want y'all to see the individuals that are benefiting. And sometimes people say, well, why she post the people that she give the money to? Because I want y'all to see who we giving this money to. I want you to be able to put a picture to, oh, okay, that's where my donation went. And I always ask the individuals, do you mind if I post your picture? Do you mind if I post? And they say, oh, yeah, I don't care. So as long as they don't mind, I don't mind sharing it with you, so you'll know exactly where your money is going. So I didn't expect this video to be this long. I just wanted to come on and just say, I need your support, whatever you can do to help this event to be successful, to help us to bless and celebrate the Warriors on October the 28th for our gala celebration and fashion show. It would be greatly appreciated. And we are a 501c3, so whatever you donate is tax deductible, so you don't have to worry about that. You can write it off on your taxes. So I appreciate God allowing us to get to that status. It took a while, but we are there. And the next step, I know Kenya's at this step too, is getting grants, so that we don't have to be constantly begging individuals for money. So I'm praying that God, as well as Tanya in Kenya, I'm praying that God bless us with grant and people who will help us get these grants done, written, and so that they will be constantly in rotation, and we don't have to worry about them. The money will come flowing. We'll have too much money and be trying to spend it all. So I'm praying for that. That is my prayer. So I pray that you guys touch and agree with me on that, and that all of our events will be successful. Kenya had a successful event, a successful walk, and it was a beautiful day for the walk, and I was really excited about that. So Tanya, I pray that your event is successful, and that God just shows up and show out in your event. Yes, in Jesus' name, amen. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for your encouragement. Stay blessed. Enjoy this beautiful day, because Fall is coming, but I can't wait because I'm waiting to wear my boots and my sweaters and my leather jacket. You know, I can't wait to wear those things, but I'm enjoying the beautiful day today. So enjoy your day, you guys. I'm done. Thank you so much, Tanya, for your encouragement. Oh, she's in agreement. Yes, thank you, Lord. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. If you guys need anything, inbox me, call me. But I appreciate the prayers. I appreciate the support, and I appreciate the future support. So thank you so much.